just advertising what they're selling, because we're making an ordinance that says chew bags, but it doesn't say anything about any of the other programs, and that's where people just stop right there.
Mr. McClung?
Two things. One is, how much is the cart? I know what you're talking about. I don't know what the price on it is a month.
We have a representative from Carroll County Solid Waste.
We do? Okay,
George.
but I also have one other statement, and they can qualify this as well, is that I use a 35-gallon trash can, and it'll handle two 35-gallon trash bags. If you push the air out of them, you can get 2 bags in it with the lid on it.
We pick it up.
Huh?
We just pick up your whole can.
Yeah, you take the can. That's the way it works. As long as it's in a can. Yeah.
I got a question for you guys. Last time you brought carts.
Wait a minute. I think the first question was, how much is the cart?
Oh.
Yeah, how much do the cart?
It's different in every town. I think it's around $30.
Yeah.
No.
Monthly.
I believe it's around 24.
I have the
24 or
prices.
26.
It really is different in every town.
But it is.
Is that a one-time fee?
That's a monthly fee.
That's a monthly
It
fee.
replaces what you're paying for the 2 bag or 1 bag service.
And I'm talking a 65-gallon cart, which is 3 bags, 4 bags. It's what you're going to be able to smash down and get in that cart. And you are correct. They've been calling our office, and they didn't know about the other options.
Right,
and our office told them about the other options.
We've set
Okay,
quite a
that's
few,
good.
Eureka.
We have, yes, we have
Okay,
set quite a
awesome.
few cards. I really don't understand that. On the bag deal, I do agree maybe 1 bag is not enough, but the bag tags are just $2, correct?
Yes.
And they're going to pay $24 or $26 for a cart a month. So I don't. It would be cheaper for them, yes, to buy the bag tag, go with the 1 or 2 bag, whatever you decide, and I believe that would push more to recycle.
Mr. Holyfield?
So Berryville and Green Forest, how many bags do they do?
Green Forest is on 2 bag. Burrville is 1 bag. Burrville's been 1 bag. Burrville started with, Burrville was open. In 2000, they started with BFI. And in 2001, we took over for BFI. And when they started with BFI, that was Burrville's first contract with a single hauler. It's been 1 bag every since then.
And Berryville started out real rough. Berryville was,
Yes.
y'all are mellow compared to what we got over there. But it worked out eventually.
So I think if Berryville can do it, I don't know why we can't do it. And to me, the 1 bag is, then you need to be examining what you're putting in there. And I know people who don't recycle stuff everything in 2 or 3 bags.
And Berryville was pushed
Stick it
as
out
a
there.
super recycling program. That's how Berryville was pushed with the 1 bag. And I honestly didn't think it was going to work out. And it took a little while, a few months.
Yeah.
It worked out, and it's been doing that for 20 plus
Now,
years.
We do have a lot of carts in Berryville.
Yeah.
The people
always
that's
an option, someone
that's
wants-
just
Right,
not
that's an
interested in recycling, they get the carts. But I really believe the citizens of Eureka Springs, I'm going to say Eureka Springs and this side of the river is where we get 85% of our recycling from.
Right.
And I really believe that I'd hate to just set carts out and we would make more money on carts and lose the recycling end of it.
Recycling would be less.
It sounds like it'll still be cheaper too with the bags. Mr. Myers?
Well, you brought two carts here when you showed
Yes.
us. And the smaller cart, how many gallons was it?
Now, did we bring the blue 35-gallon cart?
We did. We don't, that's not a service we offer, but it's a service we could offer.
Yes.
But the carts are,
65-gallon and 95-gallon is the service that we offer.
I see. Okay. You just teased us with
And
that little one.
I actually brought the little one in case you wanted to go with a one bag.
It shows you
You-
the size. I mean, it's,
Yes, it shows you a size of what the one,
Okay.
about what the one bag
Yeah.
would actually hold compared to a 65 gallon or a 95 gallon.
Ms. Lane?
My concern is really for families. I have a child in diapers, and I mean, I'm not getting out of just the diapers alone is a bathroom trash bag every day. Every day. It's unfortunate, but that's what it is. And that's where I guess my concern is with the one bag, because throw kitchen trash in there and those diapers, and I mean, I'm cashed out way before I can, and that's where I think that, in between the 65-gallon bin and the one trash bag, we're just too much apart. I think it should be 2 bags, and then if you want a little more, get the bin. But I think there is a little bit of confusion within the city that we are, as a city, offering the trash service. And,
Yes, there is.
So I think that, that just kind of needs to be clarified of hey, it's these people, this is what they offer.
well, even on the rule, when they'll call and say, why are y'all doing this? I said, well, we didn't do it, the city does. We have the contract, we pick up your trash. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as well as our city personnel are getting the same,
We've all talked a lot.
yes. So I just wish that we would give each other a little more grace, especially something that's been one way for a very long time.
Mr. McClung?
The yellow bags was not a perfect situation, and this is not going to be either. I mean, not everybody is going to fall into the minimum requirements. I encourage the citizens to buy a 35-gallon can and use that can. Whether you put it in the bags, they'll take it even if it's not in the bags.
You
It's
can
that,
definitely get a lot more in if you have a can than you get a 35-gallon bag.
And you don't have to buy an expensive one.
that's right. And
Cheap at Walmart.
And you can buy your own, you don't have to.
that's
buy it
right.
from-
You don't rent it. It's a one-time purchase. You use the can, whether you put it in bags and compress the air out of them and shove them in there, or put your refuse in there loose. That's entirely up to you. You can do that and stomp it down if you want to, I suppose.
Stop those
but
diapers.
The thing about it is, there's not a perfect situation. And so, the people just going to have to realize that's just the way it is. We choose one or we choose the other. But I'm not, if we were going to complain about this, about things like this already, I'd have never changed it.
Mr. Mayor?
Well, before, it was about yellow bags, but then we were limiting the number of bags, where when we had yellow bags, they would pick up as many yellow bags as you put out on the street. And I've seen abuse of the yellow bags. I mean, I saw somebody put a bunch of lumber out there, and they wrapped a yellow bag around it, and it got carried off in the trash. So, but mostly we haven't been putting out that much trash, I don't think. I don't think we need to limit it. People pretty well limit themselves.
Mr. Holyfield?
I bought some tags today, and I was surprised City Hall is not selling them. I thought it was going to be at City Hall and out at Public Works.
Did you have to get them at Public Works?
Yep.
So the city, the courthouse, you're not selling them downtown?
Yeah, I don't think we have them at this point. Simon?
That's correct. They kind of restructured City Hall a little bit, and I think they put that on us because we're the ones billing for the trash as well. So, but the reason I came up here was actually one of the biggest things we found through this transition to the single bag process, pickup, I guess, essentially, is that there's a lot of people that are sharing the trash service. whether it be a meter servicing, multiple addresses or whatever the case might be.
For real.
Yeah, so that's the number one issue we've ran into, and we have some business owners that are having to install more meters because they're using one meter to supply a bunch of apartments and businesses. So that's the biggest issue that I found, and we're working on that right now. So, but other than that, it's been all right for the most part.
Well, that, in my opinion, would be that those need special attention. Those need to be billed separately, like commercial businesses, correct, or something? And that, if they have apartments or something like that, if they're meter sharing and trying to use just one trash service, then that needs to be adjusted a different way, not.
So our municipal code states that you're not allowed to share water. So sharing water amongst different businesses and addresses is against the municipal code. So that's something I'm working on right now.
I don't know. I don't really follow what you're saying there.
So if you have two businesses next door to each other and you have one water meter servicing both those businesses, that is against the municipal code, is sharing water. So when you're sharing water, you're also sharing your trash service. And you can't do that.
And I understand that, but I don't see, when did this occur in municipal code?
I think, off the top of my head, I think 2002.
2002?
Yeah.
So have things been added in since then, new that, or are they existing grandfather type properties?
No, I don't think so, but it doesn't have a grandfather clause in the ordinance.
So you're just going to go in and make people put in extra meters?
Right. So the people I've been
I'm not
working.
so sure that that's the right way to do things, or if we can do things that way.
So I've given everybody, I've talked to them and gave them all a year to get in compliance, and they've all been okay with it aside
Well,
from
that's
you.
good.
So, yeah.
What about apartments?
Yeah, so you do apartments. There's exemptions as far as like that goes. We do have an apartment complex down on Pivot Rock where they have a meter for the entire apartment complex, and you could do that. But what's happening with the ones that I'm speaking about, they'll have a renter of an apartment, and they're paying the water bill and trash bill for everybody in all the addresses. It's not the landlord paying for it, it's a renter paying for it. And it's just not fair to make somebody that's leasing your property pay for everybody else's water too. And that's why we have that ordinance in place.
Say that again.
It's not fair to have a renter of your property pay for the water utility for all the businesses that are attached to your.
You're talking about businesses or apartments, residential apartments?
So we have apartments downtown above the businesses, and we have one that has multiple addresses, and one apartment renter is paying for the water and trash for the entire
Building.
Well,
building.
but that's an
multiple
agreement.
buildings.
That's an agreement between the landlord and the tenant, is it not? If the tenant agrees to do that, so
Yeah.
what's the problem?
I may have to agree to disagree on that because I don't think it's fair for a tenant to have to pay for a business that provides no financial services to have that water service or that trash service. If you're renting a building say you're renting an apartment for me and I have 5 businesses downstairs that are water users and you're paying the bill, is it fair to you as a renter?
Well, if I'm willing to pay it, then it is. I can't imagine the tenant upstairs doing something like that.
I have a situation downtown where the apartment next door had a big leak, it was vacant, and the other renter in the other apartment is liable because that water service is in her name.
Well, I mean, if that's the arrangement they have with the landlord, that's between them.
Yeah, that's why we have ordinances to prevent that, though.
Well, I don't think I don't follow that at all. I don't think you have the right to do that.
Mr. Myers?
Well, I think it's not fair to the city. It's not fair to all the rest of the water customers.
I understand.
Please, let me finish. It's not fair to the other water customers because the other water customers are having to carry the load whenever the rates go up. And yet, there could be an apartment building, somebody making a profit off of these apartments, and the guy won't even provide a meter for each apartment. That doesn't sound the least bit fair. I don't care
I
how
think
long ago it was done.
Some of our historic buildings, though, it's impossible to put in multiple units. They're 100-year-old buildings with 100-year-old water lines that service that one building, and it just happens to have multiple tenants.
It's time to upgrade.
Some of it's impossible to do.
No, there's no such thing as impossible.
Mayor, if I could, that would, 1 meter, 1 bag though, 1 service, that could cause, if you've got 4 apartments
Yep.
with 1 meter, there's no way 4 apartments are going to work off of 1 bag of trash
No, of course
a
not.
week.
This is our problem.
And that's, our apartments that have a meter servicing an entire complex or whatever of apartments, one address, we've noticed that some of them have the base commercial rate, which is essentially 35 gallons worth of trash too, so they have to upgrade but with the yellow bag system, they could just buy as many yellow bags as they want and just put them out and they would pick them up, But this is the number one issue that I'm finding.
Mr. Holyfield?
I'm disappointed, the City Hall, they used to sell the bags, but now they're not going to sell the tags. So there's only one place to buy the tags, is to go up to the offices on Highway 62.
Yeah, the City Hall also doesn't take water bill payments. You can put it in the drop box out there, but all water bill payments go through Public Works.
I'm disappointed that,
Well, that's a separate issue.
it's inconvenient.
I think that while we are figuring this out and the whole community is at a point of we're having issues with multiple trash users for one water line, we're having things that are coming up that are bringing it to light. Nothing that we could have done about this, but I do think that in this time to do the 2 bags, because right now we kind of need it. And in 6 months, in June, after we get all this figured out, then let's go back to 1 bag. But I personally think that you just can't do this to people. There's so many bags left on the corner and on the streets because they don't have enough. There's just not enough. And I understand you can get tags, but these people are literally used to being put out 5 bags and now they're getting 1. So we've got to do something to help.
Mr. McClung?
Maybe we need to go back to the yellow bags. Maybe that was the way, maybe that was the right thing in the beginning because we didn't think this through like we thought we did. I mean, there's reality in that. Everybody was covered with their trash then. You paid for your yellow bags and it got picked up and, that was the way it worked.
Mr. Myers?
Well, if we got multiple apartments in a building and all the people have to do is buy bags for their trash, but they don't have to pay the water bill or the sewer bill, that is a problem. And if
Somebody
the one
pays-
person with the meter pays the trash charge, that is a problem because everyone else gets by for free. And with 605 coming up and all the stuff we're going to have to do, everybody needs to have a meter. They need to pay for their water and their sewer.
I make a motion to adjust ordinance 2348 to have 2 35-gallon bags.
Max.
Maximum.
All right, did I hear a second?
Can you repeat it, Autumn?
She wanted to have, go ahead.
Make a motion to adjust or change ordinance 2348, the trash ordinance, to have 2 trash bags, 35 gallons each. Basically keeping everything the same, just upping it to 2, and until we can get this figured out of 45 people on 1 trash bag, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'll second that.
All right, further discussion? Mr. McClung?
Well, no one seconded it yet.
No, we did have a
Yeah.
second.
Oh, we did have a second?
Mr. Avanzino.
I'm sorry. Apologize.
We're in discussion. Did you have a motion? Or, I mean, a
Well,
discussion?
I'm trying to think it through. Oh, can we do this? Can we do this just as a vote here without changing the ordinance on a temporary basis? Can we do that, or do we have to write something new? That's my question.
Well, it has to be written, but it's easy written to amend the ordinance.
Yeah, I think this is just an amendment to the ordinance, that's all.
And so this would,
I don't think so.
We, no, this ordinance has been posted. It's gone into effect. It's going to be codified, so we need to pass the second ordinance.
We have to amend it.
Well, we'll
that's
have to
all.
amend this ordinance.
Amend the ordinance.
but can it be amended, and then what she's referring to is put a sunset clause in it?
You can add that to the motion.
Yeah.
Could do that.
Well, that's what she's referring to, and I would like to amend the motion made by Ms. Lane to give it a 90-day sunset clause. Is that puts
You
us
think
under
that's
the
long
gun to
enough?
get it
That's
accomplished?
only 3 months,
Right?
Okay, 120 day.
6 months.
And what
No, that's
happens
4
at the
months.
end?
Okay, give them a 4-month trial.
And what happens at the end? It goes back?
Well, wait,
or
we
just-
just got an amendment, we hadn't gotten a second on it.
I'll second that.
Okay, now
Wait.
your question.
Okay, so what would happen to it?
At the end of 4 months, it would revert back to what it
Revert
currently
back?
is.
Okay.
Or to something else.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
It would
sorry.
just come back to the table?
Come back
Yes.
to the
Okay.
table.
There's already a motion in play. We couldn't have a second motion. We had a motion,
No, it's an amendment.
We've amended that motion.
but Autumn would need to amend it because she made the motion.
Terry made the motion. She doesn't have to amend it. Terry can amend the
I
motion.
can amend it.
But Autumn made a motion, Avanzino seconded. We hadn't voted on that yet.
Right.
No, but now we've got an amendment, so we vote on the amendment first.
First.
And then we vote on the motion.
That's not procedure, but
Yeah.
I think that's correct, isn't it, Mr.?
Yeah, I think you should do the amendment to the amendment before you do the amendment.
So anyway, we're in discussion of the amendment
that's,
on whether or not, at the end of 4 months,
That
it will
is
come back to the table, or it
procedure.
automatically reverts back to the
I
one
think the
bag.
clerk is right. We need to vote on the thing first, and then we can amend it.
or
we got a motion.
Autumn can
Yeah,
change
I'll
her
make another
motion.
Yeah. I make a motion to change ordinance 2348 to a quantity of 2 35-gallon bags with a sunset clause of 120 days to bring back to the table.
Second.
That sounds good.
First of all, does everybody agree to remove the first,
Sure.
the amendment and the first
Yes.
motion?
Withdraw both of them.
We got to withdraw the first motion. Got to
Withdraw.
withdraw the
Withdraw.
amendment, which is withdrawn, and then withdraw the,
I'll withdraw my first
okay.
motion.
So now we're back to your motion to make a clause of allowing two 35-gallon bags with a sunset clause of 4 months. Does everybody understand the motion? All right, and we had a second to that?
I did.
Okay, I'm sorry, Mr. Amazino seconded. Any further discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. In reference to your comments about people being aware of it, it's on our website in big, long,
Well,
and people need to look at the website to find out what,
are the carts on there? I think
Yes.
that's
the
specifically.
carts are on there also.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in the Q&A. I put a whole Q&A. It was linked on the back of the water bills. It said to look at the city website. When you go to their website and you click on residential trash, it says you can have the cart service instead of the trash bag. So I'm not really sure what else to do.
Our phone number used to be on the back of y'all's water bill too. I don't know if it still is.
Yeah, it is.
Well, and I feel like the water bill, on the back of the water bill, is a little bit confusing. It's like 2 separate paragraphs that just run into each other.
It's a small water bill.
I know it. I know it, but it needs to be a little space. We reworded just a little bit to make it just a little more clear, to clue people to check with.
All right. Well, the motion's passed. That's second. Up to the second item of business is get a motion to discuss the banning of plastic confetti.
Did we
During parades.
pass it? I don't think we voted on it.
Yes,
We did.
We did? Okay,
We did.
cool.
Bags starting on Wednesday? Is that what we're doing?
We're going to do the 2 bags for 4 months. Then we
We're
still,
going to be talking to you in a little bit about
We start Wednesday.
the
Maybe we'll
tires.
start with,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay. A motion to discuss the banning of plastic confetti and other trash that's thrown out during parades.
Second.
I think, paper confetti at least dissolves, but there was a bunch of plastic confetti tossed during the Mardi Gras parade, and it made a mess. And that stuff goes into that's microplastics. It goes into the streams and gets in the fish, and not a good idea.
Ms. Lane, did you have a comment?
Are we sweeping up with the street sweeper, like right after the parade, or is it just on their normal routine?
I'm sorry, what was your question?
Are we sweeping right after the parade, the street sweeper, or is that like on their
Usually the
normal?
next morning.
Okay.
Next day, yeah, when there's no traffic.
What does it look like? Is it pick it up?
I don't know.
So I guess I'll comment on that too.
Yeah, I want to know.
So, with the help of the police chief, we pulled up some data from other municipalities that have done kind of the same thing. But yeah, our ordinance says the next day that we'll sweep up the candy and whatever after the parade. But a lot of this confetti is so light that it's blown away by the time we get to it. So it's already down in the streams, in the woods, wherever. It's not in the street anymore. So I fully support this. I don't know if I'd call it plastic confetti. I would just say confetti in general, period. And get rid of the paper confetti too, because it's pretty bad.
It's going to be the same thing.
But right now our street sweeper's down. It's in the shop. We're having some DEF issues with it. Hopefully we'll get it back pretty soon. But when it happens where we don't have the street sweeper and we have a parade, my weekend help has to go out there by hand and sweep it up. So
I'll amend my motion to ban all confetti.
You didn't make a motion?
I didn't?
No.
No, I didn't. Sorry, I still have the eclipse on my brain. I make a motion that we ban all confetti in parades.
Okay.
I'll second.
All right, we'll get a discussion from anyone. Mr. Holyfield?
So the candy and all of those other things thrown out, that's okay? Does it clog up the streams and everything too? Sorry, Simon.
I'll say,
Probably easier to pick up.
You're getting your steps in.
I'll say,
I need
please,
that. So,
like in
so
front of-
as far as the candy goes,
Simon, I just want to make one comment real quick. Like, I call it the moat in front of my house, and after every parade, it's inevitable. I see candy in the moat, I see beads, I see all kinds of stuff in the moat. I have no idea how I got there, and that's a long
That's
way
down
down.
The
there.
creek,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I think for the most part, I think probably candy would stay put on the streets. You know, what I've seen out there, like the Christmas parade and stuff like that. But Mr. Ed Benzino there, he sees otherwise. I haven't seen that. So,
That's because I pick it up.
yeah,
Or I actually get down there and get it, so.
you're amazing. But yeah, so I don't know if I'd ban stuffed animals and stuff like that. Candy, you know, the kids love the candy. I love the candy. I don't know if you can tell. I eat a lot of candy. But the confetti is definitely our biggest issue, I think. The candy's so much easier for us to clean up because it stays solid. You know, the confetti's blowing
Yeah.
around. It's getting wet. It's blowing off into the woods and stuff like
Nobody
that.
does that, like that silly string or anything like that.
I've not seen silly string out there. I can't say that it hasn't happened. To be 100% transparent, I haven't been to a whole lot of parades, so you know, I'm not too sure if they're doing silly string out there or not, but I have not seen
Not
that.
seen any.
All right, any further discussion? We got a motion and a second to ban all confetti. Mr. McClung?
Is this taking ordinance?
Can we do it
Okay,
in a
so can we
resolution?
I
just do
think
it on?
this is just an administrative issue.
Okay, that's great, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Cool.
So any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. If I find we need an ordinance, I'll bring one to the table.
Cool.
I'll talk to the police chief to see how he wants to enforce the banning of confetti on there. We may need an ordinance, just to make it enforceable. I don't know. Yeah, city attorney will check on it. All right, next item is a discussion of progress of removal of used tires. And our solid waste people left us. Oh. So they don't do the used tires anymore. As of April 1st, that becomes a different organization. But again, I need a motion to discuss.
I move to discuss.
Second?
All right, Simon, do you want,
I assume you're talking about the tires that are kind of back behind Equity Bank?
Yes.
That area, right?
Yeah.
So I wish Jacob was here today, our building official.
He was supposed to.
He kind of headed something up with Sam to get those cleaned up off the hillside. I don't exactly know what their progress is on that yet, but I know they're
I
working
do.
with. Okay.
He had Carroll County Solid Waste. They found out that they have to have special containers for the tires, and they can store them at Carroll County Solid Waste until there's a place to take them. But
that's not true right now.
we cannot pull them out of the hollow until there's an approved EPA waste container to put them in.
That's true.
And so Carroll County Waste is looking for the containers. They think they've got some on the line, according to what Jacob told me.
The Madison or Boone County, and I can't remember the solid waste company over there.
Cards or Waste Management.
Anyway, that woman has the containers. Carroll County Solid Waste will not store the tires. She will provide the containers and we'll put them wherever we want for the tires to be loaded into, and then she will pick them up and take care of them.
Okay.
But we need to find out where we can put the containers and how big the containers are, which
So I'll help with that this week and try to get that lined out.
Okay.
But we're working on that water leak over there anyways, so I could touch base with them and see if maybe that's something we can store there.
It's something we don't have to get on right away. They've been there a long time, but I fear a fire if we
I'm
have
not
dry
sure how we're
conditions.
going to get all the tires out. That's my concern. 'Cause
We
looked
had a
at that.
group of volunteers.
Yeah, there's a large group. Sam Dudd's kind of headed up a lot of that. And,
Yeah.
Good.
Sam
Well, that'd be
Dudley.
great.
Sorry.
Mr. McClung?
Who owns the property?
Probably part of it's city, probably part of it's Equity Bank.
Yeah.
Because they go quite a ways down over the hill.
And where they stop, probably the city Leatherwood picks up. I mean, Black Bass Dam.
Right there at the holler that runs into Black Bass
Because
Dam.
they used to roll those tires down, and every time there's a big rain, they
Oh,
keep
yeah.
coming down.
I mean, there's still a lot of oil saturation down there. I mean, it's
Oh, yeah.
from those service stations that were there. But,
Okay.
there is some obligation for the property owners, not just the city, to remove that too.
So I think this removal is going to happen on the weekend, and I think they're doing it on their own accord
Well, that's great.
as
That's
a volunteer.
great. More power to them.
A lot of it ends up on the city property, unfortunately, because what's my understanding, and we've been looking at this for a long time, 5, 6, 7 years, is every time we get a big heavy rain, that washes a lot of the tires down. And we keep finding more tires down by the lake.
And there's no way to get to them from below much, is there? Well, there is, I suppose.
You can't get them from above, so you got to get them from below.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Winch cable or something.
So
Anyway.
I know Jacob's been involved with it, but,
The ball's kind of rolling a little bit, and that's why I wanted to let the public know that we're trying to keep from having a tire fire. And we have volunteers and a business that's willing to go work with us, and
that's
Yeah,
great.
it's a great public involvement kind of project, you know?
yes,
So with the volunteers and their help to get those tires out of that ravine, you know, that's huge. You know,
It
that we
is.
have that volunteer base to kind of accomplish a project like that. So kudos to Sam Dedley and Jacob
Bet.
Coburn on getting all that set up.
indeed. Thank you.
All right, that brings us up to our next item is a resolution for a temporary entertainment district for Jeep Jam.
Motion to discuss.
Get a second?
Second.
All right, this is a temporary entertainment district for the Jeep Jam, which will be up at Pine Mountain Village. And similar to, I guess it'll be from September 12th through Sunday, September the 15th, from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. on there. I think they had one last year also. Mr. Alvanzino?
Yeah, just a quick question. I know that everybody's liquor license expires June 30th. Are we being presumptuous in approving these, thinking that they will get their liquor license renewed?
I don't think that's any of our business. I mean, they're assuming they will have that liquor license, and with Paulie's being up there, they'll be holding the liquor license now.
Okay.
If they don't have a liquor license, they can't sell.
They can't open anyway.
Yeah, I know. I just didn't want,
So
I
it
just
doesn't
wanted to
matter
put
even
that
if we
out there,
approve it,
so.
even if they don't approve, go by state law, then we
Okay.
can't operate. So, yep. So, yeah, we're being presumptuous that they'll have their liquor license. I'm sure they will. Yeah.
I make a motion that we approve it.
I'll second.
You may read for, sign a number and read for,
Yes, shall. Sign the number and read it for package. Not for package, but for passage.
all right,
It's a
Package list.
resolution, right?
Resolution.
yes. All right, Mr. McClung made a motion. Did I hear a second?
I did.
All right, Mr. Myers seconded. Any further discussion?
Yeah, there it is. That's where it is.
Need a voice, need a
Roll call. Got it.
call. Voice.
Steve Holofield,
Yes.
Terry McClung,
Yes.
David Avanzino,
yes.
Autumn Slane,
Yes.
Harry Meyer.
Yes.
Assigning resolution number 857, a resolution to authorize a temporary entertainment district and establishing standards for its operation for Jeep Jam event. Whereas prior ordinances of the city of Eureka Springs, Arkansas allow the creation and governance of temporary entertainment districts. And whereas application has been made for a temporary entertainment district to be granted, and whereas the mayor and required department heads of the city of Eureka Springs, Arkansas have reviewed the application and have found it appropriate to forward for city council consideration. And whereas the city council of the city of Eureka Springs has made a comprehensive study of the application and its request. Now therefore be it resolved by the city council of the city of Eureka Springs, Arkansas, Section 1, Purpose Intent. The purpose of the entertainment district is to promote hospitality and tourism within the city and to highlight restaurant, nightlife, entertainment, and hospitality options for tourists. Section 2, Location. The temporary entertainment district shall be located at Pine Mountain Village, 5 acres of paved retail area. Section 3, Dates and times hereby permitted, Thursday, September 12th through Sunday, September 15th, 2024, 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. daily. Section 4, Identification of participants. Those persons who wish to possess or consume from an open alcoholic beverage container within the district or enter the district from an alcoholic beverage permitted establishment with an open container shall first obtain a wristband, and beverages will be served in prepackaged cans. Section 4, Permitted Sound. Live amplified sound, including music, shall be permitted under the following restrictions. A, music can only be performed and or played from the hours of 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. B, stage or broadcast area shall not be located within the fenced area C, sound produced shall not exceed 85 decibels. Section 6, applicable state and local laws. All laws and ordinances not addressed herein shall remain in full force and effect. Section 7, removal of alcoholic beverage from the district by participants. It shall be unlawful for any person to remove an open alcoholic beverage container from any entertainment district. All unfinished quantities of alcoholic beverage must be properly disposed of prior to the participants leaving the temporary entertainment district. Section 8, police and fire authority. Nothing in this resolution prevents the chief of the Eureka Springs Police Department or the chief of the Eureka Springs Fire Department from suspending the operation hours of any entertainment district if necessary to comply local, state, or federal law or fire codes, or if necessary to protect the public health, safety, and welfare.
Thank you. All right, our next item is a resolution for a temporary entertainment district for Bike Blues and Barbecue on September 18th through 21st.
Motion.
Same location.
Motion to discuss.
Second.
All right, this will be in the same location, and I meant to ask, and y'all probably looked through your application, but both the Police Department, Public Works, and Fire Department have all approved it. So again, it's in Pine Mountain Village, so. Mr. McClung?
I'd like to make a motion that we assign this resolution a number and read it for passage.
I'll second.
Okay, any further discussion? All right, Mr. McClung made the motion, Mr. Myers seconded, and we'll have a roll call.
Harry Meyer,
Yes.
David Avanzino,
Yes.
Steve Holofield,
Yes.
Terry McClung,
Yes.
Autumn Slane.
Yes.
Oops, wrong one, sorry. Signing resolution number 858. A resolution to authorize a temporary entertainment district and establishing standards for its operation for Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue event. Oops. Whereas prior ordinances of the City of Eureka Springs, Arkansas allow the creation and governance of temporary entertainment districts, and whereas the application has been made for a temporary entertainment district to be granted, and whereas the mayor and required department heads of the City of Eureka Springs, Arkansas have reviewed the application and found it appropriate to forward for City Council consideration, and whereas the City Council of the City of Eureka Springs has made a comprehensive study of the application and its request, now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Eureka Springs, Arkansas, Section 1, purpose and intent. The purpose of the entertainment district is to promote hospitality and tourism within the city and to highlight restaurant, nightlife, entertainment, and hospitality options for tourists. Section 2, location. The temporary entertainment district shall be located at Pine Mountain Village, 5 acres of paved retail area. Section 3, dates and times hereby permitted Wednesday, September 18th through Saturday, September 21st, 2024, 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. daily. Section 4, identification of participants. Those persons who wish to possess or consume from an open alcoholic beverage container within the district or enter the district from an alcoholic beverage permitted establishment with an open container shall first obtain a wristband, and beverages will be served in prepackaged cans. Section 4, permitted sound. Live amplified sound, including music, shall be permitted under the following restrictions. Music can only be performed and or played from the hours of 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Stage or broadcast area shall be located with the fenced-in area. Sound produced shall not exceed 85 decibels. Section 4, applicable state and local laws. All laws and ordinances not addressed herein shall remain in full force and effect. Section 7, removal of alcoholic beverage from the district by participants. It shall be unlawful for any person to remove an open alcoholic beverage container from any entertainment district. All unfinished quantities of alcoholic beverage must be properly disposed of prior to the participants leaving the temporary entertainment district. Section 8, Police and Fire Authority. Nothing in this resolution prevents the Chief of the Eureka Springs Police Department or the Chief of the Eureka Springs Fire Department from suspending the operation hours of any entertainment district if necessary to comply with local, state, or federal law or fire codes, or if necessary, to protect the public health, safety, and welfare.
All right, thank you on that one. Now, our next and final resolution is another temporary entertainment district. Again, this will be for the Ozark Rally event being held at Pine Mountain Jamboree, and it's June 20th through Sunday, June 23rd. And again, the police and fire and public works have all reviewed this and approved it. So,
Got a question?
okay?
Motion to discuss?
Motion to discuss.
Second.
Is this another motorcycle
I
rally?
think so, yeah.
Okay, thanks.
All right, any further discussion? Get a motion, all right?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we assign this resolution a number and read it for passage.
I'll second.
All right, any further discussion? Mr. McClung made the motion, Mr. Harry Myers seconded, so hearing none. So, roll call, yeah.
David Avanzito,
Yes.
Steve Holofield,
Yes.
Harry Meyer,
Yes.
Autumn Slane,
Yes.
Terry McClung.
Yes.
Assigning resolution number 859, a resolution to authorize a temporary entertainment district and establishing standards for its operation for Ozark Rally event. Whereas prior ordinances of the city of Eureka Springs, Arkansas allow the creation and governance of temporary entertainment districts. And whereas the application has been made for a temporary entertainment district to be granted. And whereas the mayor and required department heads of the city of Eureka Springs, Arkansas have reviewed the application and found it appropriate to forward for city council consideration. And whereas the city council of the city of Eureka Springs has made a comprehensive study of the application and its request. Now therefore, be it resolved by the city council of the city of Eureka Springs, Arkansas, section 1, purpose and intent. The purpose of the entertainment district is to promote hospitality and tourism within the city and to highlight restaurant, nightlife, entertainment, and hospitality options for tourists. Section 2, location. The temporary entertainment district shall be located at Pine Mountain Village, 5 acres of paved retail area. Section 3, dates and times hereby permitted, Thursday, June 20th through Sunday, June 23rd, 2024, 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. daily. Section 4, identification of participants. Those persons who wish to possess or consume from an open alcoholic beverage container within the district or enter the district from an alcoholic beverage permitted establishment with an open container shall first obtain a wristband, and beverages will be served in prepackaged cans. Section 4, permitted sound. Live amplified sound, including music, shall be permitted under the following restrictions. Music can only be performed and or played from the hours of 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Stage or broadcast area shall be located within the fenced area. Sound produced shall not exceed 85 decibels. Section 6, applicable state and local laws. All laws and ordinances not addressed herein shall remain in full force and effect. Section 7, removal of alcoholic beverage from the district by participants. It shall be unlawful for any person to remove an open alcoholic beverage container from any entertainment district. All unfinished quantities of alcoholic beverage must be properly disposed of prior to the participants leaving the temporary entertainment district. Section 8, Police and Fire Authority. Nothing in this resolution prevents the Chief of the Eureka Springs Police Department or the Chief of the Eureka Springs Fire Department from suspending the operation hours of any entertainment district, if necessary to comply with local, state, or federal law or fire codes, or if necessary to protect the public health, safety, and welfare.
Business, so we have anything on the agenda, if not, we'll go ahead and city council comments. We'll start with Mr. McClung.
Nothing?
Mr. Meyer.
Well, I like the fact that we're going to have volunteers helping out with the tires, and The Equity Bank volunteered to provide snacks and drinks and whatever, so once we work out when that can be done, it's going to be good for our city. That's all.
Well, I appreciate everybody's conversation, as always, about the trash bags. Thank you. I was a little disappointed in the solar eclipse, but it was still interesting nonetheless. That's all.
I don't have anything.
CAPC hopefully will be voting on a new director this Wednesday at 5 p.m., a special meeting. And I think the applicants, 3 or 4 applicants have been interviewed, and then they'll bring them to the commission and we'll vote on them. Hopefully be finished all up this Wednesday.
Now, that's not televised live, is
I don't know, the special meetings are, I don't,
it?
yeah,
Are the regular meetings televised live?
No.
not live, no, not live. They're all recorded.
Next day, usually.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed the eclipse, and I know there was a lot of news about it coming in. And I know down Interstate 40, there was a lot of traffic on 65. It was interesting. So I hope you got to be able to get out and see a little bit. And kind of go along with the eclipse, although it's a little bit later on in a couple of weeks, we've got the 36th annual UFO conference. So if you missed the round today, you can always catch the USO conference on April 12th through the 14th. There's always interesting things going on at the convention center. People. Also, the big deal is kind of exciting, and you may have seen references to the hashtag Eureka Scene, which is a video production recording and live music event for Thursday, April the 11th at Sweet Spring from 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Fossils of Ancient Robots with a free concert. Also, we got Drumming in the Parks coming back. It's a heartbeat of our community, and everybody always enjoys that. Returns to Basin Park on Saturday, April 13th. And then we have the Spring Fling Bike Rally, April 17th through the 21st. So, take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All right, thank you. All in favor?
All right.
See, that really wasn't the move.